What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to the Aces High podcast. We're your hosts, Miriah and Ty. Ty, happy Monday. How you doing, my guy? What's up?
Happy Monday to you. I'm doing all right. Feeling good.
Good.
Hope you are doing the same. Hold up. I'm in this hotel trying to get organized here. I just got up here. So bear with me, folks. But I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good, hanging in. Been a crazy day as far as news for football is concerned. So just dealing with that and,
Yeah.
the heat and all that fun stuff. The usual.
Yep. The usual summertime stuff.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Chat. Happy Monday. Hope everybody's
Up to
doing
chat.
great. Good to see you, Dawn. Throwback. First two in the door, per usual. Appreciate you both.
Yep.
Just throwing it out there as an FYI. Some news possibly could break on the side of the 49ers. For obviously you guys are aware, I am a 49ers content creator. We are 49ers content creators as well. So if it happens to break while we're live on this, WNBA stream, we're not going to stop the stream, start a new stream, record that one, stop that one to come back, start a new stream over here. Like, we're not going to do all that. So if you see me just randomly switch the backgrounds and stuff, and act like we're starting a new show all of a sudden, it's because we're just going to do that breaking news segment, and then as soon as we're done, in the 10 minutes or whatever talking about that, we'll switch it back and continue on here. And that way, once the stream ends, I'm able to just go back, edit that and grab that clip out of here and post that by itself. So just so you guys are aware and you guys don't think we totally lost our minds, hopefully the news doesn't break while we're live, but just in case, we have to be prepared in case that does happen. But yeah, I hope everybody's had a great weekend. I hope everybody had a great last week. On the side of not too much, news as far as, strictly WNBA, as far as that's concerned, obviously with the teams on their breaks and stuff, not too much popping off over there. But obviously we have a couple games to talk about as far as Team USA is concerned. We have the 3v3, which is now over. Team USA did get bronze, so congratulations to them. We'll talk about that game here soon. And then we'll talk about the men's side and the women's side and, their games coming up. I do have a couple, different little scenarios to talk through once we get through all of that. And I heard this little rumor that's going around that I will talk to. I haven't told Ty about it yet. So I'll tell him about that and we will talk about that as well and the possibilities of what that could mean. So let's get into the 3v3 game. Let me pull up this bracket here that kind of shows what it was looking like. All right, let me share this. All right, so here's kind of the way it ended up breaking. And it's crazy because those that are following and if you weren't, that the 3v3 women's team started off very rough with a 0-3 start, so they lost their first three games, and then somehow came back. You see right here they were in the play-in, so that's how they ended up getting into the finals, into the semifinals. So they had to go the long way through because they did have that, crappy start. But you have to think, like, Dearica Hamby, she wasn't even supposed to be a part of that team.
Nope.
She was only a part of there because what's her face?
Cameron Brink got injured.
Yeah, because Cam Brink got hurt. And, so she was kind of thrown at that last minute. So they're having to figure out stuff like seriously the very last minute and having to play, and they kind of figured it out on the seriously
On the
on the
fly.
go. Yeah. And so you
Yeah.
see they were in the play-in. They had to play China. They very easily took care of them, 13-21. And then they got into the semifinals. They were against Spain. Had they beat Spain, they would have went into the game here, to
Yep.
compete for
Gold
the gold
game.
and
Yeah.
silver. However, they ended up losing 18-16 against Spain, which then got them into the game to compete for the bronze medal against Canada. And it was close. It was like tied at the very end. Hamby ended up getting making a shot and got an end one that ended up putting them up. And so it was a very dramatic finish to get to this bronze medal. But the US pulled it off, so congrats to them. And then as you see, Germany and Spain competed for gold and silver. Close game there. Germany beat them by 1 point and ended up getting the gold. Spain ends up with the silver, US with the bronze. Your thoughts on the 3v3, how their journey went and how it ended up?
Yeah, it's like you said, that start was rough. 0-3, looking just out of sync, out of rhythm. Who's taking the lead, right? It was looking like, oh man, they're not even going to make the tournament. They're not even like, but they wound up figuring something out and stringing some games together and wound up making it to the play-in. That's all you need is a shot. Got in there. I think they found some rhythm, like you said. I think what's her name? Jeez, the point guard in college. I'm forgetting her name. How can I forget her name?
Oh my god, now I am forgetting her
Haley
name.
Van Lith. Sorry.
Yeah.
Haley, yeah. She started to assert herself a little more. She's the vet. She's done this before. She played on the team 4 years ago. Ryan Howard started to find her shot, find her rhythm, and Dearica Hamby as well. Like all three of them started to find her way. And I think it started with Haley Van Lith, though. And, her kind of just being that point guard, orchestrating things, getting everybody settled. And they wound up playing well. Would have loved to see them go for gold, to them to capture bronze, to fight back from 0-3, just to capture bronze is amazing.
Yeah.
Especially
people had already
the
counted them out.
Like
they thought they weren't going to win shit. Like they were done.
It's over. Yeah. They're not winning another game. So, while we hope they would take gold once again, they did get bronze, which is an achievement. Congrats to them.
Yeah.
And they're going to come back firing through the next tournaments and for the next Olympics. But it's a great achievement. I'm happy we got something. We didn't get embarrassed out there. I'm happy that they fought back and managed to win something.
Yeah, because after the way it started, it was scary. Didn't even think we were gonna pull off bronze, to thought shit, we ain't getting nothing. So to end up, well, of course we want to get gold and everything. But to get bronze with the way they started, I'll take it. Obviously we're expecting more from our 5v5 teams, right? And they've started off a lot better than the 3v3 did. So hey, like I said, I want you want gold and everything. But to place silver or bronze is definitely, not shit. Yeah. That's for damn sure. Like I'll much rather take that than not placing any day of the week. So keep racking up. I don't care. It's gold, silver, bronze, rack them up.
Get the medals. The Olympics is all about getting medals. You want to go for gold, but silver and bronze is nothing to sneeze at. It is an accomplishment.
Let's move in towards what's up, John V? Miriah, I see you. What up? Hope you're doing
So we got a
well.
question. We got a question real quick from Ghost.
Let's see. What's up, Ghost? Says, do y'all think Cam Brink could have made a difference? I think for sure.
That's a good question. And yes, I think for sure too. Because one thing I noticed that the team is just short. Let's put it out there. The team is just short. Like Derek Hamby was their tallest player. Like the team was just short. So there was a height thing. There was a lack of rim protection, even though in 3-3 it is that thing. But when you get some help side defense, someone who can deter people from, going up for a layup. Cam Brink, that's her specialty. She brings that size and athleticism to it, and she loves to help out, get blocks, get rebounds. So I saw immediately that her lack of just height being out there definitely made a difference on the defensive end. And she's a big who can stretch the floor too, which is one thing. So like you can bring her out to the 3-point line and she can shoot a 3, or someone can slip a screen and go under. There's a lot of things you can do offensively when she's on the court. So yes, to make a long story long, yes, I think she would have made a difference out there, just with the versatility and the rim protection that she brings.
Yep. All right, let's look at these 5v5 games. What's up, Steve-O? Says we're currently at
Steve-O?
78 medals. Woo!
Yeah, racking them up. Tell you, Summer Olympics is our thing, especially when track and field hits. It's a wrap.
Yeah, man. Shout out to them. They're the track and field, the track, especially, man. They've been awesome. Gymnastics, Simone, all the ladies, and even the guys. They pulled off. At least getting bronze.
Yeah,
and
they
stuff
repped
like
this year. Yep.
Yeah. They're saying Matt Breida back for the 49ers.
I heard he practiced today. They worked him out. Like, do you really need to work out a guy you've had before?
Well, I mean, he's old as shit, so you want to make sure he can still run, that his legs aren't falling off. He's been on like 3, 4, 5 other teams since he left us.
Yeah, but that's been like 3, 4, 5 years. He keeps bouncing around.
Well, I'd much rather him work somebody out than just sign them not knowing what they're like, especially a running back.
He was on the Giants the past few years, and we know that stadium and that turf is garbage. Like, that could have killed his legs. So, yeah, you got to work him out in that instance. But if we digress, back to the 5v5.
All right.
Women's basketball.
Right now. That ain't the breaking news that we're stopping our show for, so.
No.
All right, so women's, since we last talked to you all, let's see. Yesterday they played Germany, but the game before that was Belgium. So
good old Belgium.
87-74. United States took care of business. And then, like I said, yesterday we played Germany 87-68, and that's with like the last quarter. Our starters are sitting out, and that's Asia, like our actual starters that have been carrying the team. Didn't have to carry the team in this last game versus Germany. So kind of talk to me first what you saw from the United States Belgium game, if you can remember back to that, and then we'll get into the United States Germany game.
Yeah, USA versus Belgium. We knew it was going to be a good matchup because they play with size and physicality. WNBA players on the roster, right? Well, current and former. Good old little Julie Van Lowe of the Mystics. Shout out to Melly there.
Melly, where is Melly?
We know how feisty and competitive she is, this year, and she's old rookie. I think she's like 30 or 31 years old because she's played so many years internationally. So she's not afraid to go up against anyone, right? And they got Emma Messerman on the roster. I mean, she was a finals MVP a couple of years ago. Good old Melly. Good old Melly. She was a finals MVP. She was a finals MVP a couple of years ago. great player. Um, and it's just a solid team. Play together all year long, right? So we knew that was going to be a battle, and it was. It was a tight
Yeah.
game. I think it was tighter than it should have been because the Team USA didn't shoot particularly well in the beginning of the game. So like it just made things close, right? And their perimeter defense was a little bit off. Like they was allowing threes like crazy. So they needed to lock things up. And I like how Cheryl Reed, like in the second half, went to a more defensive lineup. She went to Alyssa Thomas. She put Jackie Young in the game, switch things up a bit, lock things down. And that's when you saw Team USA pull away.
Yeah.
You know, it was tight, and then they went to that 10-point lead, and that 10-point lead kind of never shrank. Belgium would cut it to like 7, but then Team USA would come back and boost that right back up to 10-12. So even though people were saying, oh, this was a close game, the outcome was never really in doubt. Like Team USA had control. It just wasn't your typical blowout that you normally see. And I thought it was a good test for them. I thought it was a good game. It shows you, what some of these teams are going to bring to the table and come out gunning. And it was a stark contrast from playing Germany, who's like, playing Japan, who's like super small, right?
Yeah.
We talked about how that roster everyone was just short. Their tallest player was 6'1", and that's their center. Everyone else was under 6 feet. So here you got a team with 4 and 5 people. It's a size difference, and I like the way they adjusted and came out and rose to the challenge. Oh, this is a tougher physical team. We got this also. Of course, Stewie and Asia led the way. I mean, if you got them two, you're good.
Yeah. You
And
had
and the difference.
real quick, you had Stewart with 26 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and Asia with 23 points and 13 rebounds. They both combined for 49 points out of the 87.
Yeah. And Stewie throwing 3 blocks there. Like she was playing defense, like throwing 3 blocks. Asia had a bunch of steals, and Breonna Stewart. Asia had 3, Breonna Stewart had 1. Like they put it on ends as usual. So I like in that game how Sabrina UNESCO was the surprise of the game, hitting threes. She hit the big 3 to end the game, right? Told the crowd to shh. Yeah. And it was this was the real challenge, is that it was a hostile environment. This was not like a pro USA crowd. They played was like 6 miles away from the Belgian border. So that's why it was just filled with Belgian fans, right? They made the trip to support the team. So that was like a true road game. And they still came out on top, still was decisive in their victory. So it was the biggest test of the tournament so far, and they rose to the occasion.
Sorry, as you guys can tell, Ty's internet is kind of wackadoo. He is in a hotel right now using hotel Wi-Fi, so he's doing the best he can, as Mom used to always say, just doing the best that we can, okay? After that game, Dawn Staley put out a tweet and said, y'all, just so y'all know, it's not easy coaching this talent-filled team. Virtually impossible to play 12 players. It's all about combinations. Managing combinations within the game is extremely difficult. Let's be patient with the process and trust our coaches. Now, she put that out because the entire time up until that point, literally everybody is bitching and complaining that why is this person playing? Why is this person getting minutes? Ka hasn't played. Jackie hasn't played. Kelsey Plum's getting too much minutes. Chelsea Gray is getting too much minutes. All this. And so That's what Don Staley had to say. I will say, and now in this last game, there were a lot of different lineups, even coming out of halftime instead of starting with the starting five, like she has normally done. She'll start with the starting five, obviously, to start the game. And then coming out of halftime, she's been going back to that starting five. This last game against Germany, coming out of halftime, the starting five was different. And I liked it. Jackie Young completely took over this game against Germany. Our bench, the entire bench, completely took over this game versus Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you had Asia and Stewie, sitting the last quarter. And that's because the bench, Jackie came in, Ka came in, and I know I have a tweet somewhere about the numbers between our bench and their bench scored. I'll find it while you tell us your thoughts about this game.
Yeah, this was totally about the bench, just getting in there, taking over. The Dawn Staley tweet is just like you said, because people were like, "Yo, where's Jackie Young? Where's Clea Copper?" Like, if they want to play physical, well, let's put in our physical defensive players. They need some run. This is a game that's built for them. And I was in agreement with that. I was like, if you put them on the court with like Alyssa Thomas, Stewie, and Asia, they'll dominate.
Mm-hmm.
They'll take this thing over. And Jackie's been itching to get out there too and let her shoot. Fast forward to this game, the next game, against Germany, we saw them get their minutes, right? You saw was it Jackie Young played 27 minutes, the most she's played so far. And she responded. What did she drop?
Who?
Jackie Young.
Oh, I have it right here. She had 19 points, 4 rebounds, 4 steals.
Yeah. 5 for 8 from 3.
Yep.
Hit the big 3. I mean, she was doing it all out there, defending well. Copper got in, hit 3 threes, was doing her thing. A little shaky, but she got into a groove and did her thing. And it was like, okay, finally, this is what we wanted to see. Use that bench.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you take your starting 5 and put them on the bench and you bring in another 5, that's a starting 5 right there. Like, and I think we want to see that more rotation, because the Germany game proved if you keep everybody fresh and use everyone, they will definitely wear teams down. Teams can't hang with Team USA for 40 minutes just because there's so much depth. Mm-hmm. There's too many quality players. The drop off is not that significant when you switch someone. So use everyone and use them to your advantage. If you see a player getting hot, they got a point guard or something that's getting hot, let's bring in Jackie Young. Let's bring in Clea Copper. Mm-hmm. Go stop them. They want to get physical down low. Okay. Hey, Alyssa Thomas. Hey, BG. Let's go get in the game and show them what it's about. Right? You got too much stardom and too many weapons to have people sitting for extended minutes. And I love the fact that she came out in the second half with a different lineup. It shows you, just put the best 5 on the floor that's playing right now.
Mm-hmm.
If Jackie Young is hot, leave her out there. Don't just sit her. She's hot. She's doing her thing. Leave her out there. The combination with the 3 aces on the floor, along with, Alyssa Thomas and Stewie.
Mm-hmm.
If that lineup is getting it done, leave them out there. Let them get it done. I love the fact that she did that. Sat her own player, Nafisa Collier, her own player, right? Plays with her. Nah, sit this one out. We gonna
And
let them.
she was playing like crap too.
Yeah, but that's what you do. Okay, you don't have the hot hand right now, but they do. So we're
Yep.
gonna leave them out there. You're gonna be the sub in the second half. That's what good coaches do. So I love the fact she, smartened up and did that, because that's what you're gonna need now going into the tournament rounds. Because it's one and done. You lose, you go home. Like, you gotta adjust. And I love the fact that she did that.
Yep. What's up, McNiner? Good to
What
see
up,
you.
David?
Hope you're doing well. I can't find the numbers now, but it was something so crazy. Like I had seen a tweet, like I couldn't even believe it when I seen it. I'm like, there's no way. Like the
Yeah,
amount of points that the USA bench scored compared to Germany bench, like
yeah. Something saw that too. It was something wild, like 35-5.
yeah,
It was some
something
wild
crazy.
number.
It was like, how's
Like
that even
Germany
possible?
they had single digits, and Team USA had 30 something. So it
Yeah.
was wild. Yeah.
Daniel Barry, what's good?
What's up?
All right. So going forward, let me pull up this again so we can look at what's coming up. Add to stage. All right. So let's look at this bracket. Women.
Yep. Got the bracket. Cool. Yeah. It's tournament time now. Like I said.
Right. So Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
USA will be playing Nigeria. Oh, where did it go?
Well, I think you went forward or something. It switched.
It still says bracket right here. Just took my bracket away. All right, let me see. Brackets, women.
There you go.
You stay this time. All right, so Nigeria, United States, and then obviously whoever wins that game will move to the semifinals and so on.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we'll look to be playing either Serbia or Australia, depending. And then you obviously see Germany versus France and Spain versus Belgium. Will then complete out this, and then the winner of this will go on to
the
play
gold medal
for the
game.
gold.
Yeah.
Yep. So almost there. Hopefully, as long
Almost
as
there.
we can keep playing the way that they've been playing, and hopefully a little better each game. They seem to be getting better and better, figuring things out, getting more comfortable with each other, coaches, players, and all.
Exactly.
So I would expect to see them in the gold medal game.
Yeah. You can see they're in the groove, and Cheryl Reeve is in the groove, and I think they got their minds right. They knew this is it. Even though they took group play seriously, they didn't overlook that. But now it's like the real deal. It's three wins, and we got gold. We're going home with the gold. So this Nigeria game, they got a young athletic team. They like get out and run. I think it'll be a fun game to watch. Of course, I've got USA pulling it out. Nigeria doesn't have the depth. I don't think they can hang for 40 minutes. So I think it'll be that typical thing where the first quarter is probably tight. It'll be close.
Yeah.
But then you see on the second and third and fourth quarter, that lead will just grow, and there won't be any doubt. And then they'll move on. And for my money, they'll be playing Australia in the next round. And if you know anything about that Australia team, that's basically a WNBA team. I mean, it's just, we talked about Team Canada has like 8 people that former and current WNBA players. Australia is the same way.
Yep.
From top to bottom. It's crazy. It's crazy. Even Sandy Bardello, their head coach, is the head coach in New York Liberty. It's Hey, Melly, we mentioned you earlier. What's up?
Hey, Millie.
Yeah. So they can do some things, but they can't hang. They really can't hang. As much talent as they have, they can't hang. So but it'll be a fun game to watch. I'll tell you that much.
Agree. All right, let's take a look at the men's side real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Since we last talked to y'all, they had played South Sudan, beat them 103-86. And then they played Puerto Rico and beat them 104-83. So handled business in those games quite easily.
Yeah.
And like the same that we're saying for the ladies to expect them into the gold medal game, like I would be shocked as all could be if the men weren't in there as well.
Yeah.
Real quick before I turn it over to Ty, we'll just take a look at the bracket right now too, so I can take this down. So the men's side, they will be playing tomorrow, Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
And then the winner of that game will go on to play the winner of the Serbia-Australia game. So both brackets, men's and women's, it could be USA versus Australia in the semifinals, which was very
wild,
funny.
right?
Yeah. On the other side, you have France versus Canada, and then Germany versus Greece. So, what are your thoughts on what you've seen from the men so far, and then their, what you like about them going forward?
Seeing domination, what you want to see, right? You got the best of the best out there. Like we're talking people who have been mentioned on the GOAT lists. Like these are just good players. We're talking about the best of the best. And we talked about last week how they're playing unselfish, but still getting there. They know what the goal is, and that's to bring home the gold medal. And they look determined, right? They're very determined. So I like their playing. I like they're putting teams away. They're leaving no doubt. At certain points in games, people take over when they need to take over, but they're still playing selfish team basketball, and that's what you need. You need everybody to play team basketball. Like Anthony Davis could go out and get 20 points easily, but he's concerned with being rim protector, right? And scoring only when he needs to, and just playing his role. And I like that everyone's doing that. And I think it's been a winning formula. I can't see any of them slowing down at all because they're just like freight train right now. Yeah. And as much as every other team, like we mentioned on the women's side, has WNBA players, every team has NBA players. And I mean, Greece has Greek Freak for crying out loud, but the quality from 1 through 12 just isn't the same. And that's the difference. And the determination that they want this more than anything is what sets them apart. So I could easily see them steamrolling everyone. I don't care who they bring. I don't care if, Greece and France team up to make a super team at the end. It ain't going to matter. So, yeah, it's just going to be fun to watch how it all just unfolds. And when it gets to the gold medal game, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, you talk about, they want this. And that's the thing is that, like, there's so many guys on this team that this is going to be their last, shot at the Olympics. We talked about before, it's so crazy to think that Steph hasn't been in the Olympics before. And that's because, he's always, I turned it down because I can go next time. Oh, I'm going to turn it down because I can go next time. I'm working on this. I'm working on the championship. I'm working on this, And now you're at that point where it's like, no, I can't turn it down anymore because there's not going to be a next time. So we obviously know how the age of LeBron, it's talked about all the time, right?
all the time.
So you have these guys, you know, that this is going to be their last time to not only compete with each other, but to compete, you know, for their country. So yeah, it does mean a lot to them. You can tell, like in their press conferences, you can tell by the way they're playing. You know, you talk about that selfish, you know, the unselfish factor of it all. And, you know, that's what it really comes down to. It's like, do you want this? Is the want of the gold medal, is the want of bringing that home for your country bigger than, you know, your want to show off on the stat sheet? You know, like your want to be the big man of the team or the big woman of the team on the ladies side, you know, the same difference. It goes for both sides. And, you know, from what we've seen so far, I would definitely say that want to bring home gold for their country one last time, and for some, you know, one time in general, I think it definitely, you know, means a lot to them. So yeah. And like we talked, you know, the Olympics, I've been watching, like, seriously, you guys, like, I mean, for those that know me, know I hardly sleep. I have trouble sleeping. And this last week and a half has been terrible on the anxiety side. So I've literally have hardly slept at all. So, which has been good that the Olympics is on, because it's on perfect time that I'm up all night of the morning and night and can't do anything. So at least there's been actually something for me to watch, which has been very nice. So yeah, I've got to watch a lot of Olympics this last week. I've watched games that I didn't even know existed, that I didn't even know were a part of the Olympics. Like I was watching some rock climbing type thing. I don't even know what it was still. And I'm just like, how did this become part of the Olympics? So yeah, I'm definitely learning a lot about a lot of sports that I had no clue were even there. So it's been pretty cool. Been pretty cool to see, you know, United States, you know, dominating at so many different things. And now obviously we know that they're, you know, overtaking the medal count. And, you know, I just expect that to continue to grow. And as, you know, we come to a close for the Olympics. So yeah, it's been pretty good. Pretty good. Let's talk about this real quick. All right. So I've heard this rumor going around in the WNBA spaces, Twitter, whatever community, that someone that writes or reports for, or one of those things for the WNBA, had said they had been noticing Satu at a few Aces games recently. Now, Satu, you know, is a forward for the Dallas Wings who has been injured, who has been sitting, hasn't even played this season for them, who is now playing in the Olympics for her home country.
Plays for Germany.
Yep. And so she hasn't been playing. So the rumor out there is that obviously she hasn't been sitting courtside or anything like that, because the cameras, everything, we would have all known, seen, whatever, right? Like they're always showing off whoever is sitting around the court at these games, and especially Aces games. So they said that she now has been at several Aces home games. Who knows why? Now I know I'm not saying that this is 100% true. I haven't seen this with my eyes. I have had no Aces reporter tell me anything about this, right? Now this is just something I'm hearing. So I've been thinking about this. Now, this would be kind of crazy, because that means now obviously she's not traveling with the team, because it's not, the team's not playing the Aces all these games, right? So she's having to travel on her own accord. I don't know her personal life well enough to know who she dates. if she dates females, like if she were to be dating, somebody on the Aces, and that's why she would be at the games, I'm not sure on that side. I don't even know if she likes women or who knows.
Right.
So that could be one reason why, if that were the case. Another thing, maybe she is wanting to team up with the Aces in the future. So that's the one we're going to run with right now. How would you feel about now? Because Satu the player, amazing. Satu the player also has a long injury history and has played very few games in her career so far. Like, we looked up the number of games that she's actually played, like her entire WNBA career, and it's only like a season and a half or something. Like, it's very crazy, like sprawled out over how many ever years. So there's that. And like I said, she currently is injured. She is playing in the Olympics, but you can tell when watching the games that she is injured still. It was very noticeable at the end of this last game. You could tell she went. Well, first off, during the whole game, she's not going into the paint. Very few times is she going into that paint. She's shooting all of her shots from the three. So there's that. Plus, if you watch her when she's walking off the court, now it's a shoulder injury. So as you watch her when she's walking off the court, her arm literally like hangs. Like she can't like even hold up her arm. Like, and that's, at the end of the game. And then she's sitting on the sideline with ice still on her shoulder. So who knows if she even returns and plays another game for Dallas this season.
For Dallas, right.
Now,
you can click. Well, go ahead.
Would you take all that risk on and try to work out something to bring Satu to the Aces next season? Or do you think it's too much of a risk? Like, does the risk outweigh, the potential reward?
I think the risk no, I would bring her on. I would take the risk. Because we talk about okay, let me try to put this in perspective. Okay, she's a darn good player. When healthy, she's impactful. You can tell she's not healthy right now. She's just gutting it out to play for her country in the Olympics. It's an honor. A lot of people don't get that privilege. So her and her sister are out there gutting it out. But even with her being injured, you can see the talent. You can see how good she can be, right? We've mentioned Aces need another big out there beside Asia, one who can score and be impactful. She fits that mold. She's it. She would be the answer, right? She's 6'4", just like Asia, athletic. She's not afraid to go down low and bang with the big girls. Like, she's not doing it now just because she can't, but she can do it. And like we saw, she can stretch the floor as well. She can shoot from the outside and free things up. And like, if you was to have her and Asia on the floor at the same time, they don't have to clog the paint as much. They can do things. So I would definitely. She is a free agent after this season. Her contract with Dallas is up.
Yep.
So we know how teams like to reshape their rosters and such. I think she would be a darn good pickup for the Aces, just to bring her versatility to the squad with her height. They've been trying to find someone with some height, but can't do it. I think she would be the answer.
Yep, I agree. I like it. I as well would take the risk. And especially if she comes back and and sits, like most the rest of the season or the rest of the season, if she comes back and say plays the last 5 games,
Right.
the fact that she's still there rehabbing, taking care of her shoulder.
Right.
After this Olympics, she wouldn't be playing, so she's resting it. Hopefully that time she's using to heal up, and come next season, she's healthy, right? Like that's what you would hope.
Exactly. But this the big thing is, like as we talked about before, the Aces have the resources to help her get healthy. They have their own dedicated facility with doctors, with treatment centers, right? That she can come in, get that thing straightened out, and better for the long run. And I'm sure that's attractive to her as well. I'm sure she just wasn't in Vegas going to a game. She probably went and saw what they working with and was like, wait a minute. This is beautiful. I can come here anytime I want, 24/7, and like get some treatment, get this fixed. I could call up a coach and say, hey, meet me there, and someone will be there. That's enticing. So if I'm Aces, I'm giving her a grand tour. I'm like, hey, look at this. Look at this beautifulness. Look at these massage tables. Look at all this. I think you'd fit in well here. Oh, I'm milking it.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. Some questions I know were asked back to this person to find out, some more in depth, like if we could find out more, like what was she seen doing there? Is she meeting up with somebody? Is she, so I'll definitely keep an ear out, an eye out, and we'll see. It's definitely a pairing, a potential pairing, that I would like to see.
Yeah.
Let me pull this
I think
up.
it'd be great.
And look at something that got leaked today by Asia and her team.
Their colorways.
Yep.
I should say her colorways.
So, Soul Retriever 3 hours ago tweeted, confirmed. These are the first 4 colorways of the Asia Wilson's upcoming Nike A1, all dropping summer 2025 for $110. And they are laser pink, beta blue, white ghost, and black hyper pink. Thoughts?
You knew this was coming, man. You knew
I don't think
this
there's
was
no
coming.
pictures, right?
There's no pictures yet. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just the release names of the colors, which you have there in general. But man, we've been talking about her from day one. About this is not just a shoe. It is a brand. It is an entire thing. Like if you look at the sneakers she wears now, these are colorways that she works on with Nike to get those colors for her. So you knew with her own shoe, there was going to be a variety of different colors that she would work on with them as part of her brand. And like with that, expect some shirts to match the sneakers. Expect some sweatshirts to go with it as well. It's an entire branding movement. Like everyone's stuck on this, oh, it's one signature shoe and it's going to come in black and white. Nope. It's an entire, you're not even ready for what she's got going on. And this is exciting stuff. We talked about this a while ago. She's not just, a shoe. It's not just a shoe deal. She is their signature athlete. She's got to have so much is going to come out. It's going to be dope. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I agree. It's awesome. And the fact that, they released right there for $110, and, those that are shoe people, Nike people know, like, that's the
Mhm.
average of a pair of Nikes. So, I saw people commenting like, dang, I'm surprised, they're not $200,
Yeah,
$220, so shout out to
yeah,
her for,
exactly.
knowing that
Keeping it affordable.
$110 is already like a hefty price to a lot of people, so to
Yeah,
keep it at the, normal
right.
Nike price, like, that's something
Yeah,
that you gotta
she's
love
not
to
price
see.
gouging like a lot of sneakers. They starting like you said at 200. Like if you get a deal, it's $20 off. Now they're 180.
Yeah.
For her to come in at 110, that's something. And she probably did that on purpose. Like, I want as many people to be able to get them as possible. And she knows who her demographic is. She knows young fans are looking up to her.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
can't be charging kids $200. It's
Yeah.
it's, it's unacceptable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when that little kid goes to mommy and daddy and asks them for $200 shoes,
Yeah,
or $120, $110 shoes, it's a lot easier to break off the $100 and buy him a pair of shoes than have to, break out $200
yeah,
to buy him a pair of shoes.
exactly.
So yeah, I can't wait to see all the awesome things that she ends up releasing. And like she said, and we have said, she's releasing kids lines, men's line, women line.
Mhm.
It's not just like Ty just said, it's not
Yeah.
just one pair of shoes or whatever. She's like releasing something for the entire family.
Yep.
So yeah, can't wait to see all the awesomeness coming out. All right, let's go walk through this scenario real quick. So obviously we know the Valkyries, they're going to, well, eventually the WNBA will release the rules on,
Yeah.
how many players each team will get to protect, because the Valkyries will then pretty much get to go shopping and, shop from all the other current WNBA players and take, who they want. So each
Right.
team will get to protect, a certain amount of players. So let's go through this little exercise and say the WNBA says each team can protect 6 players. Who from the current Aces team are you protecting?
Oh, well. Okay. This is easy. For me, it's the starting five, right? So we're talking Asia Wilson, of course, Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young, Kelsey Plum, and I said starting five, but I was thinking of the beginning of the season. So with that said, that's Alicia Clark. So that's the starting five. I was thinking back to the beginning of the season, right? Those five, and then the six, Kate Martin. Those are the six I'm protecting. That's my core. I can't do anything without them. What say you?
Interesting.
Now, I think you would leave someone off.
I'm
I think I
going
know who that is.
Asia,
Uh-huh.
Jackie, Chelsea,
Uh-huh.
Kate.
Uh-huh.
Mm, that other rookie that's on the team that's hurt.
Other rookies on team that hurt.
We just drafted her in this last draft, but I mean, she's not counting as a roster spot because she's hurt. She was hurt when we drafted her.
I don't even remember who that is.
Oh my god.
Um, okay, you got her. That's five. Who's number six?
Mm, Elizabeth Kitley.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my number 5 because you gotta protect for the future.
Right.
Kelsey Plum, she's not even under contract after this season, so protecting her does absolutely no good because you can't protect a player that's not under contract, and I wouldn't protect her anyway.
Well, that's the one I knew you'd leave off, even if she was under contract. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
So I'm not sure. Probably it would have to be Alicia Clark
Okay.
for the 6th.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, because you have to protect the future and now. So yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, I
still
get you.
very interested to see how they work the draft picks.
Yeah.
If they're just going to straight out give them, the Valkyries the first draft pick, or how they end
Or
up
put
doing
them,
that.
maybe put them in the lottery mix and see where they end in that lottery as one of the top 6 teams or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that would be a
Man,
fair thing to do. Just throw them in there. I would give them like the same weight as the lowest team in the league, like how they do that. Like they
yeah,
get a certain amount of entries, give them the same amount because they literally have nothing, and see if they could get the one of the top 3 picks, if not the top one. So when that news hits, we're going to talk about it definitely because it's going to be
yeah.
something to talk about. Yeah.
Especially with who's available in this upcoming draft, and like,
Oh
man,
yeah.
this is such a crazy time for a team to be, coming into the WNBA when
Yeah.
you have this loaded crop of talent coming out.
Yep.
And especially, this season with Paige Beckers coming out. Like, if you can open and start your franchise with Paige, like, oh my God, you're set.
Yeah. Yeah. You're off the charts. You're off the
Yeah.
charts right there. Yeah. Did you see she
Um,
signed the a deal
yeah, I
with
was just gonna say that.
Rival? Oh yeah.
Speaking of
Go ahead.
Paige, yeah, she ended up signing an NIL deal, the first one of its kind with the Unrivaled League. Um, awesome. Like we talked about Paige even last week about her being the number one WNBA player that's not in the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously we've talked about Unrivaled and been, releasing the players and talking about them as they release them. And, like, that's a huge opportunity, not only for Paige
Yeah.
herself, right? Like, to already be a part of something in the making. But for Unrivaled to be smart enough to know, like, look, this girl's marketing is already crazy. Like, everybody
Yep.
wants her to be everywhere. Let's go ahead and snatch her up right now and
Yep.
make her a part of what we got going on here. So
Yeah.
yeah, smart for everybody involved.
It was genius. Like we can snatch her up and be part of our pro league. She'll play with us even before the WNBA. Like it was genius to do that. And the way they worked it out won't interfere with her college stuff, so it's all safe. Yeah. Some smart people at or Unrivaled. Like they know what they're doing. That's going to be exciting to see. And Paige is just Paige. She's on another level right now. Like I feel like she can start her own WNBA team. Call it the Connecticut Beckers, and no one would blink an eye. They would start every game. Like she's reached that level of popularity. Not even playing basketball right now, just being amongst the circles and being everywhere, and just being that down to earth person. Sky's the limit for her. I'm excited for her too.
Literally played 1 year of college basketball and is like popular and most sought after player right now that there is in college hoops. Like, so crazy.
We talked about though, like coming out of high school, she was it.
Yeah,
she was the talk.
Yep.
And her freshman year, she won player of the year. Like she was it. and then she got decimated by injuries,
Mm-hmm.
which killed 2 years of her college career. That's the only reason why you didn't hear about her. And she
Yep.
came back, bounced back last year, led UConn to the Final Four. So this year, like, she's it. She's back to being that girl. And like everybody wants a piece of her. So kudos to her.
Agree. David, I hope you're starting to feel
Yeah.
better. You're in my thoughts and prayers. I hope you continue to heal up, get rest, take all those pain pillows, keep you out of pain, all that good stuff.
Yeah,
But
man.
yeah,
Same. Glad the
you're in our
surgery went
thoughts.
well. Glad you're home and safe. We were talking
Yep.
about you last week. We were talking about you on other shows, how you was having surgeries. You were definitely amongst the faithful community. Everyone had their thoughts and prayers out to you. So glad to see you doing well.
Yes, sir. All right. Anything else you wanted to mention, talk about before we got out of here? And also let the people know about your channels, all that stuff.
Yeah. Channels are in the description. Y'all go ahead and click on them. I'm just excited that the tournament is finally here. We get the, playing for gold now. This is it. This is what we've been waiting for. The best teams have made it. I think it's going to be fun. Like, I've been paying attention. I've been watching the games from the other countries as well.
Mm-hmm.
As obvious, we talked about how Australia basically has a full WNBA team out there, and everyone else. Thank you, Dawn. So this is going to be fun, and I'm just excited to see how the team actually is continuing to progress throughout the tournament and what they'll do in these final 3 games. And I'm sure they're going to bring it home.
Agree. I'm expecting gold from the men's and women's, both
Yep.
sides. Like we talked about, the teams are just so stacked that there's just no reason why I would think like you have your starting 5 and then literally other teams are scraping up, their bench players to put in, and the USA is putting in another starting 5 off the bench, and then another starting 2 on the end, like it's just crazy that they could literally be starting any player on that team from 1 to 12 on any other team. So and that's on both sides. Like there's just no reason for them not to win gold. So but like we said, if they meet up, like the women meet up with Australia, there are tough teams out there that are going to make it competitive, but I'm still expecting United States to pull through. And just like I mentioned earlier, the Olympics overall have been great.
Been phenomenal. I've been watching everything as much as I can.
Talent and just great athletes out there, and the amount of respect between athletes and just everything that I've seen has been great from start to finish. And hopefully we can end the Olympics out strong and collect the rest of these medals up along the way, and claim victory overall.
Heck yeah. Bring home the gold.
Yep. Me and Ty will be back next Monday, same time, same place, talk about all the WNBA. And for now, Team USA news. Maybe we could get some trades going down soon, or, maybe we'll have some news pop off this week. You never know what's going on.
You never know.
Not
That's right.
on football side. I'm talking basketball right now, okay? So just calm down. No trades on the football side. But yeah.
You just made everybody rush to Twitter and hit refresh.
Thank you. Appreciate you, chats. You guys are amazing as always. Everybody that watches back on replay, that isn't in chats, we appreciate you all as well. I hope you guys have a great, amazing, wonderful rest of your week. Stay safe. Have an awesome weekend as well. We'll see you next Monday. We're out of here.
See ya.
Go Team USA.